Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. This is the second part of post-colonialism, starting with the basic definition. What is neocolonialism? So, without wasting our time, let's go into the video. What is neocolonialism? Fanon also drew unfavorable parallels between the colonial masters and the elite of the post-colonial nation. He argues that the power struggles between colonial masters and the native subject end with political independence. Native elite occupied the space of power once occupied by the white masters and the corruption, oppression, and exploitation of working class. This theme seen in novels such as The Beauty Ones Are Not Yet Born. This effect is known as neo-colonialism. Our next topic is Edward Said. What Edward Said says about colonialism, post-colonialism, and Orientalism. Said saw colonialism as a project of military. The primitive or pagan East was the literary discursive creation of the European imagination that begins to be accepted as true. Said's major contribution was to see colonialism as Orientalism. Orientalism is a style of thinking, a form of representation that created opinions, ideas, and images of the non-European culture in racialized way so that the East were always contrasted negatively with Europe. It justified the colonial present in the East. Next one is characteristic or colonial discourses, language and imperialism. Bernard Cohn has shown how English became the language of command and helped the English colonial ruler to order India in particular ways through the use of classificatory regime and the catalogue. The acceptance of English by natives in the colonial period created a politics of representation because the language was racialized and gender. English became the means of acquiring power for the native elite. Writing in native language are not first there are certain problems faced by the native. The first problem is that the writing in native language are not easily published by the bigger publishing houses. The second, it is not circulated or accepted easily by the audience, and the third major problem is never acquired the prestige accorded to writing in English. The second major characteristic is mimicry. Mimicry is basically the disciplined imitation of the white man by the native. The native has been taught consistently that he needs to try and ape the white man and his culture. Mimicry is sought through Western education, religion, and structure, where the native is trained to think and behave like the white man. According to Bhabha, this hybridized native who refuses to return the colonized gaze and who refuses to acknowledge the colonizer's position and authority is placed in a position of betweenance, adopted Englishness and original Indianness. This hybridity creates a third space, a space of religion between the colonizer and colonized. Thus, the third major character is subalternity. Spivak's most quoted essay is surely her Can the Subaltern Speak in 1985. She argues we are a redden of women's suicide in the early 20th century India. Then the structure of colonialism prevents any speaking. This structure is doubly strengthened in the case of the native women, who is silenced through both patriarchy and colonialism, both for her gender and for her race, has reduced to silence by these structures. The woman writes her body. Spivak argued that the subaltern wrote her body because there was no other way of speaking. So let's moving towards our next fourth characteristics of post-colonialism, hybridity. Moving on to the next page. Hybridity is a rejection of a single or unified identity and a preference for multiple cultural location and identities. It can take the form of revival of a pre-colonial past, such as folk or tribal cultural form, and adapts the contemporary artistic and social production to the present-day condition of globalization. Multiculturalism and transnationalism. Hybridity, as seen in post-colonial theory, is an answer to the danger of cultural binarism and the fundamentalist urge to seek pure culture forms. Now, coming towards the example of post-colonialism, here is the Ice Candyman novel by Bamsi Sidhwa. This novel is considered as the post-colonial novel. So, this example you can also put in the topic post-colonialism as a reference. The basic purpose of post-colonial writing is to clearing the space for multiple voices, the voices that have been quieting by ruling ideologies. It examines the issues and effect of countries' decolonization. It asks the reader to enter our discourse through post-colonial lens, which shows the characters who are struggling for their identity and who are saying we were not. what we were being portrayed in the era of colonization. In Ice Candy Man, Vamsi Sidhwa explains same thing, that how long British colonized whole subcontinent at the time of partition, how British created a situation that both Hindu and Muslim treated each other like enemies. This writing also refers to the concurrent project to reclaim and reconsider the history and agency of people who have been enslaved by various forms of imperialism. So this is the end of this topic. I hope you like this video, and if you have any confusion related to this topic, do let me know in the comments box. Like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.